This is what becoming a playboy did to my mindset. Growing up, I was a shy, insecure, naive kid who had absolutely no experience with girls. For the first 19 years of my life, I made every single mistake that you could think of. And then at 19, I decided to become a playboy and have a bit of fun. And I've been doing this for the last 4 years. And these are gonna be mindset shifts that you will only unlock being a playboy. I'm gonna be dropping you all the game that I have learned that absolutely revolutionized everything. These are certain things that once you see them and experience them, you just simply can't go back. And I'm gonna be dropping all the things that I've learned in this video. So we got 5 lessons we're gonna dive into. And the first one is that my confidence became cemented by proof. I changed my identity deep down to my core because I told you when I was growing up, I was a shy, insecure kid who didn't have success with girls. And that's how I saw myself in my mind's eye. And at 19, I did some things to build my confidence, but I really wasn't actually focusing on girls, but I built up a ton of confidence. I was internally validated for the first time ever. I was feeling really good about myself, best mental health ever, but I didn't actually have too much success with girls. I remember sleeping with one girl, getting head from another, but it wasn't anything too crazy. And then when I really decided to start putting myself out there, I decided to take a trip to Sweden, to my mom's hometown. I went there for 5 weeks and I slept with 7 girls in just those 5 weeks, and it absolutely changed the game because it cemented that new identity that I can be the playboy, that I can be the guy that girls want. And this is something that I've operated with going forward on automatic. It absolutely changed the game for me. So my confidence that I had built up, that internal validation of, feeling good about myself, good mental health, and really seeing myself as an attractive guy, because I started to believe that before I even had the success, was now backed by the proof that I've actually done it in real life. And proof will only take you so much higher in terms of your confidence. There's nothing bad that's gonna come from actually having success in the real world with the things that you want. So that was one of the first and most impactful things that being a playboy did to my mindset, was it improved my confidence within the social realm 10x. And guys, I created a bunch of Playboy secrets that I've learned over these last 4 years in a guide. And these are things that I just can't share on YouTube because they'll get me fucking canceled and banned. So I put them in this guide and I'm gonna give it to you completely for free. It's the first link in the description below. And the second thing it did to my mindset is make me fiercely realistic about social dynamics and specifically female nature. So I can give you an example. Back when I was just getting started at 19, I mentioned I got head from a girl. That girl had a boyfriend. This was when I was just getting into the game. I didn't know shit. I remember reading How to Win Friends and Influence People, and that's where a lot of my social skills came from. And I remember we were just in a car ride home from, it was a friend hangout. We're kind of in a mutual friend group, but I just met some of the girls there. And we went home in a car ride and we talked, and I applied the things from How to Win Friends and Influence People, and she really liked me, but she had a boyfriend. But she ended up cheating on her boyfriend that following weekend when we all went out, and she gave me head. So it's like, that was just in the earliest days when I was just getting started being a playboy and having fun. You can only imagine all the things that I've experienced over the last 4 years. Some of them are absolutely absurd. I've seen some crazy shit go down, some things which I do not want to talk about. So many things have happened. Good things that I've done which have been fun and I've been on the winning side. And then I've also been betrayed and backstabbed and done dirty tons of times as well. And here's the thing, it will make you a little bit cynical and a little bit on the negative side. But the thing is, it's more realistic and it's actually more truthful than, being that young, naive kid like I was, because I didn't think these things. I couldn't have even fathomed them when I was a kid. Like, I'll give you an example. When I watched Crazy Stupid Love, I was like, there is no way someone can go to the bar and bring home a girl that consistently like he does. I mean, like maybe once in a while, but there's no way he can do it on repeat all the time. And then I've done this shit myself. And I was like, oh shit, I guess you can do it. So, I didn't even think it was possible to fucking take girls home from the club like he was in the movie when I was younger. And I was so naive and I didn't really know the true level of dark things that can happen within the social dynamics until I actually experienced them. And then it kind of just prepares you a little more. And you have a much more realistic mindset. So at least you're not going in with open arms, you're absolutely clueless, and then you get completely hurt. It is a little bit better, I would say, especially in the modern dating scene, to have a guard up, to have some experience, to be able to see some situations happen before they happen, be able to foresee them. And we're actually going to dive into this point a little bit later on a different angle and edge, which is really important as well. But just for now, understand that, it is going to make you fiercely realistic if you become a playboy through all the experiences that you're gonna have. The third thing that this did to my mindset, which was actually extremely valuable, is it made me want to work harder to improve myself. Because let me give you 3 different time frames in my life. So before I started to be a playboy, I ended up getting into a relationship with a girl who really liked me. And that was the main reason, was because she was super interested in me, and then she was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen. So of course, this kind of ended up working out. Unfortunately, I ended up fucking up in every way you could fuck up and lost that relationship within 3 months. But the thing is, during those 3 months, we had some pretty good times and it was fun until the end. But when I had that consistent sex, in the start, it was like 5 times a day. Then it tapered back to like 3 times more reasonable. But that was pretty consistent throughout the entire relationship. And we saw each other almost every day during those 3 months. That is an absurd amount of sex to have, and it makes you very comfortable. It takes away your edge. And I didn't have this hustler's mindset. I wasn't the individual that I am now, but still, I can just see how that really dulled me as a man. And when you have it on demand, it doesn't make you want to work harder. But when you're being a bit of a playboy, you're going to want to consistently get that next hot girl. And the only way that you're going to do that is if you're consistently improving yourself. So you're going to want to be working out harder in the gym to put on more muscle and be more attractive, have a better body. You're going to want to make sure you're looking sharp and, have a clean shave, like that's my thing, and a good haircut, get better style, constantly working to better yourself so that you can be the guy that girls want. Because when you're out there, it's not like you have that girl consistently all the time. You have to go find a new one. You have to attract another girl. And here's the thing, is when I've actually gone into monk modes, this is the second phase of my life where, let's kind of take this on a completely opposite side of the spectrum. I went into a monk mode we're probably talking 12 months ago at this point. So a year ago, I went into a monk mode for about 6 months to focus on this YouTube business, to build my YouTube channel. I invested with a coach. I had a different business coach, and it ultimately led to me being successful, but 6 months later. So it was a 6 months phase where I really didn't make too much money at all. I was just focusing on this business. I wanted to go sober for 3 months, and I did that. So I really wasn't seeing girls. I ended up only sleeping with one girl during those 6 months, and it was right towards the end when I made some friends during this time, like doing sober things, and we eventually started going out, and I just ended up getting with a girl. But I had a phase where I wasn't having sex really, and it was just, me focusing on health and all those things and business so I could get to the next level in life. And I promise you, there's so many things that subconsciously happened that made me work less. Like I convinced myself that the 4-hour body method, where you only work out twice per week full body and you take like 4 or 5 rest days in between and hit a PR every single workout, was the best method. So I wasn't even training that much. Like obviously my physique maintained and it grew because it is a viable method, but I train so much harder now. I do martial arts. I work out in the gym. I train 5-6 days a week, sometimes multiple times per day. It's like, you can't compare when you are getting girls to when you are not getting girls, or if you were to have tons and tons of sex. That's also on the opposite side of the spectrum. So like no sex and tons of sex are actually really demotivating, where I found that when you have sex, you have it consistently. Like for example, this summer, this is the best example, is this summer, every single weekend for the last 2 months, I had sex with either a girl I'd seen before, a new girl from the club. Things were just going good for me. And that was extremely motivating. I was pushing myself harder than I ever have in the longest time in the gym. I made a ton of progress to my shoulders, my back. I was just absolutely killing it, having so much fun in the process, working hard on my business, just extremely motivated, extremely disciplined. My diet was superb. And I think a big reason for that is because I was having the sex. I was getting the highest form of reward that men want, and sometimes with some genuine fucking models. Like, I'm not gonna say every single girl was 11 out of 10, but there was quite a few this summer that were absolutely gorgeous. Like, my younger self wouldn't have even fucking believed that I could have gotten with them, type of thing. And it was just crazy. It was a great fucking time. And I pushed myself so hard because I was getting that feedback, but it wasn't, like I was saying earlier, it wasn't like I had it on demand. I had to constantly improve to go and get the next one. And I think that's actually quite valuable if you're a young man, is to, have this so that you don't have it too easy, but you're also still putting yourself out there. You're learning some of the things like we're talking about is valuable to understand so that you can be in a good position for modern dating. So I really think it's valuable to actually put yourself out there, sleep with girls, have fun, get experience, and I think it motivates you a ton as well. And the fourth thing is it helped me to learn to read people, and I developed a deep intuition for girls and people as a whole that I was absolutely clueless to when I was younger. Like I mentioned now multiple times, I was a shy, insecure kid. I was awkward around guys in my class. I would try and talk to a guy and feel like I said the wrong thing and not be able to understand, what to say at what time, or like how they were feeling or anything like that. And I was able to develop this very deep intuition for people where I'm very, very accurate. I'm not trying to like toot my own fucking horn here, but I'm so fucking accurate. Like, if I wanted to just pick out one girl for the night and talk to her, if it was like life or death scenario that she was gonna like me, I feel pretty confident that I could pick out that girl and bring her home. Like, if that's what the fucking challenge was or whatever, and my life depended on it. Because when you go through so many different situations across the board, from good things, bad things, just having like short experiences with girls, getting rejected, all these little things will piece together. There's so many things between how girls act, their tonality, their nonverbal communication, that if you're actually intelligent and you read books and you've been reading self-improvement books like I preach, and you fucking improving yourself and doing things with your life whilst doing all this, it really all pieces together. I've been constantly reading books on charisma, nonverbal communication, doing all this stuff while putting myself out there. And it's allowed me to really piece together everything that's happened at a high level, so that now I have this deep intuition for people and girls, which has been able to serve me extremely well. And I'll still just go out there and talk to every single girl, because that's a part of it. That's what got me here, is not knowing when I was younger and just putting myself out there. But now I still just think it's fun, and I really don't care about rejection, because there's something that you can gain from every single rejection, which is extremely valuable, which has led me to this point in the first place. So I still do the things that I did when I was younger, and I think it's fun, and sometimes you'll be surprised, and that will teach you something new as well. So the thing that is really, really valuable that you can take away from this is that being a Playboy is going to allow you to develop a really deep intuition for girls. It's going to allow you to be that guy who knows what to say at the right time, be able to have high levels of empathy and think and feel as girls do. And it's just going to make you a really smooth, charismatic guy. And the fifth thing that I learned is that rejection is a part of life. The sooner you can just understand that, accept it, and detach from the rejections, the better off you'll be, not only with girls, but in every single aspect of life. If you don't really care about rejection and you still go after the things you want, you'll be surprised how far you can get. Now let's apply it just in the lens of dating. I cannot fucking explain how many times I've been rejected. Whether it was a straight up rejection, like a girl was like, no, don't talk to me, who are you? Or a conversation went 15, 30 seconds and then she was kind of like, oh, well, it's nice to meet you. Or 2 minutes and then things really just fizzled out and went nowhere. Or a girl like showed a bunch of interest and then at the end of the night she was like, yeah, no, I'm not really feeling it. Like, that's kind of a rejection as well. That's happened to me in different senses. Even when a girl's been all over me and she just wanted the attention, I've been like played in that sense where it's like I've been used for attention, and then when I thought I was going to take a girl home, she fucking switches up. There's been so many different forms of rejection that I have experienced and encountered, and also the ones that come from developing different sorts of relationships as well. That's just much, I would say, also sucks a little bit more, is like when you get rejected when you're actually getting to know someone too at a deeper level. But there's been so many forms of rejection within dating, and you just have to really understand that it's never personal. Like, the ironic thing is it is personal. It is about you. They don't like you, and that's kind of the harsh thing you got to hear. But the thing is, there's so many things going on within that person's own reality which you can't even fathom, you can't even understand. And to try and make it out to be anything other than this just wasn't meant to be is a waste of your time. If you really meet, I'll give you an example. I was out this Saturday and I met this girl who was super bubbly. She seemed super nice. I got her on Snap and I texted her the following day saying like, oh, it was really nice to meet you. You seem like a fun, cool girl. We should hang out sometime. And she left me on open. And I was like, okay, well, it just wasn't meant to be. What else can I say? Oh, because I'm 5'7", I'm short, she didn't want me. Oh, because I'm not big enough. Oh, because I'm not rich enough. Like, what are you gonna do? Make excuses or just put yourself down? That's not gonna help you in any way, shape, or form. And in the end of the day, you just have to have some sort of rationalization. Like, it wasn't meant to be is a really good one. Okay, it wasn't meant to be. No big deal. I'll find another girl who's gonna be interested, who's gonna be hotter, and it's gonna all work out. You gotta have that positive, optimistic mindset when it comes to rejection. And if you can't take rejection, it's gonna really set you up for a fucking terrible life. Because I'll tell you, before I got that relationship at 19, I tried cold approaching once. I watched a video on YouTube. I was like, I'm gonna do this shit. This shit seems cool. I'm gonna get some girls. And I had none at the time. And I went to the mall and I remember walking up to two girls and just being like, hey, what's up? And they just ignored me. And I was fucking devastated. I went to the bathroom, called my friend. I was like, fuck this, bro. I'm never doing this again. And I left and I went home and I didn't talk to girls for months after that until I ended up getting into that relationship with that girl who was my ex. And that's what happens if you fucking can't handle rejection. Now, I take rejection on the fucking chin. If I get rejected, I'm still the same happy, charismatic version of myself going into every interaction for the rest of the night. Let's say if I'm at the club or whatever. You know, that's the type of mindset that you need. And practicing with girls is one of the best ways, because there's either two things that's going to happen. You're either going to desensitize yourself to rejection, which is a fucking pro, and you're gonna get used to it and it's gonna help you in life, or you're gonna get a girl and you're gonna fucking win and you're gonna realize that you have to deal with rejection in order to succeed in life. You can use girls to learn so many valuable lessons about life, and this has been one of the things that I've done that's been huge for me. Is I've extrapolated so many lessons from social dynamics and dating and applied them to life as a whole. Like, I use that with sales, with business, and this is what's ultimately led to me being successful and continuing to get better. So that's the last lesson I want to leave you with. Once again, I made the Playboy secrets for all the stuff that I cannot share on YouTube. So that's going to be the first link in the description below. You guys can grab that now.